How's it going, Preston Outdoors fans? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host here, Ethan Preston, and today's video is something in the making for months and months. We are going to be installing my new power pole 10-foot blades on the Skeeter today. So the reason being that this is months and months in the making is I actually sold the power poles that were on my boat that if you guys have seen my fishing videos and stuff, or all my social media videos in the past. Sold my power poles last year, and I was able to partner with Power Pole this year. So we're going to be putting, I only got one box here, the other one is open to make sure we had everything lined up to go. But we're putting two of these on. Like I said, these are 10-foot blades, power pole blades in black. It'll match the scheme of the Skeeter here pretty well. But what we've got here is this two places I'm going to mount the power pole pumps. Each power pole is operated by a hydraulic pump. So where the old one was is going to be sitting here, and the other old one is going to be sitting here. So what, now we've only got one battery in here. We've got the battery brackets and stuff on there. What we're going to do, like I said, is going to mount the pumps here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the pumps come, and how we're going to be mounting them to a plate and then putting them in position in the boat. This is a 97 Skeeter ZX202C. I've got oil reservoir and two giant gas tanks in this, so it can be a little bit intimidating to find a place where your pumps need to go. But let's get into it and let's show you how to mount the pumps. So here's our box. We got it opened up. Here is our power pole with the cables and everything like that. Now I took two boxes out. There was this box and the other box over there with the pump itself. And so you guys should have something like this laid out when you get your power poles. We'll come over here to the box. Here's our pump. Here's our hydraulic pump. So the first step we're going to do is I'm going to show you here is we're going to take this pump, and in this other box we've got our green marine 100% biodegradable marine hydraulic fluid. This will be added on towards the end once we get it mounted. But what we need to start off with is this plate here. This plate, if it doesn't fall off, and these nuts, bolts, and washers, stuff like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this pump and mount it to the plate. So here's our plate. We got the two openings here, and like I said, right here are the slots that our bolts are going to fit into. So we are going to take our little handy dandy pad that is going to go in between the pump and the bracket, and what you're going to do is attach this pad, goes in between, and then we're going to use our two bolts here, get them on, and we're going to attach the bolts to the back of the pump with that pad in between. Next portion comes in our handy dandy little bag for our pump is our end connectors that go to our positive and negative. I'm going to leave those in the bag just yet. I'm kind of doing this in a different order than what they do in the brochure, but this is because I've already got my batteries and stuff and my locations picked out. So we got four screws here. These are going to go in the four allotted spots here, and we're going to screw them into the bottom of the boat. I don't know if you can see in the camera or not, but there's already a space right here where we had the last pump. So it's going to be hopefully pretty simple. We're going to get that thing situated in here and screw it in. So there we have it. All four screws are now intact. Our pump's not going anywhere. So now the next portion of it we need our, what do they call it, mounting bracket. Now, this will depend. There are multiple different mounting brackets. It all depends on your kind of jack plate, your motor, your boat setup, whatever. So I'm going to show you what mine is. Mine's not a traditional setup by any means, but this is what we got to do. So on the first set of power poles, I don't know the proper name for it, but this is called a wedge plate. So what we had to do when my great uncle did this down in Texas, we had to do this, undo these bolts. We had to lift the motor back, put the wedge plate in between, and attach it to the manual jack plate. So to save us a lot of time, when I sold my poles, this stayed on here because the guy that bought them had a hydraulic jack plate or whatever. If you've got a normal hydraulic jack plate or whatever, how it works, you can actually attach your bracket here, somewhere in here, okay? This is my setup. So I have to have this wedge plate, and then I'll tell you the numbers here for this bracket that we've got to have set up, but the bracket is going to attach here to this wedge plate. The bracket will sit here, and then our power pole will attach here. So as we can see here on the bracket box, we've got a multiple different setups. What we have here is a PK-S-N2-6, and we've got a standard whatever. This is what they've got marked. This is our bracket that we have. The best thing I can tell you is if you're gonna do this and you're gonna put brackets and stuff on there, call Power Pole. I've been really happy over the last few years. When I first got Power Poles, I was not with them or anything like that, but they've done a lot. Their customer service is really cool. So call them. I sent them a picture actually to make sure I get the right ones. Send them a picture and go from there. And this is our bracket that we're gonna attach to the wedge plate. But you got both these pieces here, and they're gonna fit together like this. The packet it came with has 3 different size screws. This top square washer, I couldn't find a video where anybody mentions this, but this top square washer, or this big square washer, is the one that you want to run in the top slot. That's the one you want to have in the top slot for sure. You want to use it comes with 3 different size bolts, your biggest size bolt or your second biggest size bolt, depending on how thick your plate is or your jack plate is. For me, if I put the biggest bolt through there, the spot where there's no threads shines through, so my self-locking or self-tapping nut or whatever will not go flush to the mount itself. So this is the second biggest screw that comes, or bolt, excuse me, that comes in the pack. That way when I run it through there, the threads are showing all the way and we can get that nut locked all the way down. So we're gonna what you do is you take your main plate here, and I don't know, like reinforcing plate. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put them on together, and we're just gonna lightly tighten it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Got it? Yep. Set that on there. Remember, square washer first on top. Find the hole. Oh, there's a nut here. Remember, we're just tightening this lightly. We're not gonna wrench it all the way down just yet. There's that one. This is the smallest bolt that came in the package with our washer. Because you want to be able to move these brackets up and down if you need to. So that's why we're not tightening it all the way. So as you can see right here, this is our main plate. And this is the main bracket we have on here. So what we want to do is we want to move this flush, so this isn't sticking in the water here, which will raise our power poles up. If you've got a jack plate that moves up and down, you want to make sure you get it the highest you can. So what we're going to do here, since it's not tightened, is we're going to move it up till that sucker is flush right there, and we're going to tighten it down. All right, so what we did, tighten it down with a ratchet and a wrench. We got the thing set. Now, the top one here, you do not want to tighten very tight. You can tighten the bottom one, that'll set the up and down. Do not tighten this one very tight, because that one is connected to this plate here. The power pole will need to connect here, so this one needs to have a little bit of movement. Once you get the power pole itself connected to here, then you can tighten this one down. Our 2 longest bolts are going to go on the farthest outside, in this case to the left, because this is where our support bracket is going up and down. The longer one's got to go through that extra piece of metal. The shorter ones will go inside here. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the power pole actually put on here, and then we're going to tighten our bolts up here. So what we did is tighten all of them down. Make sure you got your washers in there. Everything is absolutely tight. Now, we've got our hydraulic hose here. If you're in a newer boat, a lot of times they have a hole that's already pre-drilled here in the back for a power pole. I do not, since I mentioned, like I said, it's a 97. So it comes with these nipples on here, or whatever they're called, inserts. They would insert in there. Since I don't have that option, I just took these things off. So what we're gonna do is run the hydraulic line from that power pole. It's gonna run right here. It's gonna go inside this hole. We're gonna run it over top of the gas tank, and then we're gonna hook it up to the pump. We're gonna hook it up to the pump right there. All right, next step. Your hoses, or in your pump, they're gonna have a blue cap and a black cap. It'll say on the hose itself, one will say up, and then this will have a little tag here that say up. And then there's actually a dust covering on each hose. I didn't show that. The blue dust covering on the hose obviously goes on the blue nipple. The red dust covering goes on the black one. This is your up hose, blue is up, and then your black and red is down. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this sucker full of fluid, plug it to the battery, and then there's a pairing sequence that you have to do to get these pumps primed. All right, now that we got our pump on here, it comes with these two little terminals, plastic terminals. You can put it in there. You can either strip the wire down a little bit more and then you crimp it on there. I've got it attached to the battery, and looky here, green light's glowing. That means we got it going. All right, now go to our operations manual. It says manually lower the anchor to the deployed position. My garage is dirty. But yes, here's our deployed position. So it is down. Now it says use the dash remote to change to the slowest speed. If you don't know how to use that, I had to go look it up too. You have to go to the speed remote. This is the dash remote that's included with it. So here, that's our speed button. It'll blink. Slow, medium, fast. It says hold the down button until the red LED on the dash remote stops flashing and the pumps stop running, approximately 20 seconds. Repeat twice. The HPU will have a high-pitched whining sound while priming until the air has dispatched. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do that 2 more times. So now that we did this, it ran for 20 seconds. It makes a high-pitched, funny noise. You do that twice, and now what we're going to do is the same thing, is hit the up portion of it, and it's bleeding the air out of the hydraulic lines. Easy way to tell is about 20 seconds, this remote will stop blinking both for the down and the up. Two more times. I was definitely intrigued on what was going on. A lot of noises, a lot of booming kind of stuff going on. But what it does is it's in a retracted position. You hold the dash up in a slow speed. It goes up. It goes down a couple times. You repeat steps 4 and 6, it says, a few times. Then you change it to a medium speed. And now it makes a bunch of noise, bleeds it out. My power pole goes up and down now. So here we go. But it says to test the prime, what we're supposed to do is we're going to try and deploy it when it's in the retracted position. If it easily comes down, then I'm going to have to reprime it. Hopefully not. Nope, it doesn't want to come down. Woo, we did it. So the next step, it says here, now we're good to go. It's all primed up. What we're going to have to do next is once we get on the water, probably tomorrow, is what we're going to do. We're going to go in deeper water than 10 feet, and we're going to deploy it all the way down, so it goes all the way standing down, does not hit the bottom. Here, obviously, on the trailer, it's going to hit the floor, the garage, everything like that. But they say to deploy it all the way down, holding the button, bring it all the way up, and you do this 6 times to finish the priming process. So there you have it. That's how you install your power poles. I'm going to finish up here by putting the rest of the batteries in and connecting it up, and hopefully by tomorrow we're going to be able to go out and do some fishing. So if you guys are interested in doing or getting a power pole, something like that, hopefully this helped you with the install. It's really not that hard. I spent more time finding more tools than I did actually installing the whole thing. Thanks to my mom for, I'll give you a shout out. Thanks to my mom for helping me hold the brackets and stuff like that. You're not going to see many moms out there helping their kids put power poles on their boat. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said, it's really not that tough to do. If you got any questions about anything, just send me a DM on Instagram and I'll be able to answer your questions. But thanks for watching. Tune in next time to Preston Outdoors.